In this video, we're going to be talking about a key energy in actually attracting the things that you want to have in your life, and equally attracting the pieces of any projects or process that you're putting together to actually turn them into a complete thing. Now that energy is held around the abdomen, okay, connected to the solar plexus and the sacral energy centers in the body. And the energy in this area is to do with need, okay, or the experience of something being unnecessary. So a good way to think about this is to think about the digestive system and imagine that as anything that you've eaten goes through your body is not just absorbing things unconsciously. So it's not just about the quality of what you're putting in. The body will have some things that it decides is more important for it to absorb, and some things that are less important for it to absorb. And it will absorb things that it thinks are more necessary or more valuable, and perhaps even hoard those things. And equally, it will allow other things to pass through that the body perceives are less necessary, okay? Now, that also then means that if you are a person who perceives themselves or even worries that they are too needy, then you'll then start to create emotional strategies to either hide being needy or to cling on to things that you think you might need, to keep more of them than is required, and that's connected to hoarding, okay? Or to deflect from that and pretend you don't need anything or anyone and give an impression of being independent or self-sufficient or even distant from things when actually you really might need them. So they're offered to you and you go, no, that's fine, I don't really want them anymore. Or for example, in relationship, you might find yourself saying, oh, I don't really want to be in a relationship, when actually that is what you're looking for or wanting. Now, one of the things about this area is too much of the energy of need leaves people with the experience of almost being needy or desperate, and that energy actually pushes away the things that you're looking to attract, okay? So it's very important that if there's something that you really want, that you send out, like, you know, your message, your invitation for life to support you in getting it, and then you start to switch the energy in this area away from wanting and into the experience of having. So almost like turning it into, how will it be when I actually have the thing that I want? So changing it into things like excitement, into the experience of standing in the experience of having something and looking out, rather than constantly working towards something that you don't have yet. Otherwise, you can find yourself creating the experience of wanting, which is literally the experience of not having something, yeah? So if it gets tantalizingly close or nearly to the point where it's happening, it's always on the horizon, but it seems like it's moving further away. And you know, lots of us can look at situations where in our work or in a relationship or in terms of health goals, things seem to be moving one step closer and then one step further away. A powerful way of releasing that is to actually then to move yourself intentionally into a space where you stop needing something, which is a bit of a paradox. Like, you know, often we'll get to that point only by being so exasperated or frustrated, we go, oh, I give up. And at that point, we can then release some of that energy that's needy, okay? Simple tip in this area is to look at how much something that you are saying you want is actually necessary. Often it's not. So in terms of food, for example, often we'll say, oh, I'm starving, which is to suggest that you know, we're literally going to be ill if we don't get something to eat. Well, it's probably only been 3 or 4 hours since the last time that we ate. So rather than framing that in, I'd like to have something to eat, but I don't need it, actually will change your experience of hunger, will change your experience of food, and it will allow you to have more control over the space when you don't have it, rather than finding that you can't function in that situation. Equally the same in terms of not being in a relationship or not having the job that you are looking for or want. And what you find is when you're more content, that actually it's much easier to attract the thing to you that would add something to your life, rather than relating to yourself as being incomplete and needing something to complete you. Okay, it's quite a complex subject, so I'm going to be doing more videos about it in the future. But if you've got any questions, then please feel free to ask me.